Questions and comments. Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Infrastructure and Communities.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'd like to thank the member opposite for her advocacy for her community. I heard the passion with which she expressed her concern for development, and particularly in social housing. These are needs in any city, most communities, some of which, in mine, for example, it's up to 30–40% in certain areas or boroughs. These are the things that we need to be fighting for, and that is why we have a classical infrastructure model of up to $180 billion. This is why we will not be using private capital in most circumstances to leverage these purchases and constructions. We will be working with private partners, and we will be looking to work with private partners for these things, Madam Speaker. In some areas it will make sense, in some areas it won't. My question for the member is, has she talked to any community members for projects that will make sense in her riding, what will make sense for the Vancouver area? We announced recently projects up in the Vancouver area of $300 million in costs, half of which are federally funded. Again, not all of those are privately leveraged, but there are circumstances where we will be building more infrastructure in order to build bigger projects, more projects in communities where communities need it and where it makes sense allow our private partners to participate, but not all of them. It is 8% of our classical funding model, Madam Speaker. So my question to the honourable member is, will she be consulting, can she consult with members in her party? Because the projects themselves, Madam Speaker, come from the proponents and they aren't pushed by the bank in and of itself. Thank you.
The honourable member for Vancouver East.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. It's interesting. The member says that affordable housing would not be part of the infrastructure bank. Perhaps he should actually talk to his colleague, the member from Spadina, York, who actually seemed to indicate that affordable housing would be part of that. But set that aside for a minute, Madam Speaker, because what I'm interested in is this. The question that is on the top of mind for my constituents and people in my community is this. With the setup of this infrastructure bank, will they be stuck with user fees and tolls for these big projects? Why won't the government come clean and tell them if that is their plan? Canadians deserve to have that answer, and in fact, none of us know that. Not at this point. The government would not confirm that one way or the other. My projection is that they will be stuck with user fees, that they would be stuck with tolls. So my community are saying this, and this is what they're telling me in terms of their concerns. My question to this member is this. Has he read the internal report, and is he concerned about what the internal report is suggesting?
Reprise de débat, resuming the debate. L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de l'Infrastructure et des Collectivités.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. D'abord, j'aimerais vous signaler que je vais partager mon temps avec la députée de Moncton, Riverview, Dieppe. It's an honor to stand in the House today to speak about the important work our government is doing to support our municipalities' infrastructure investments for the 21st century, Madam Speaker. Dans le budget 2016, nous avons lancé la première phase du plan qui est conçu pour atteindre 3 objectifs importants. D'abord, favoriser la croissance économique à long terme. Deuxièmement, bâtir des collectivités inclusives. Et finalement, soutenir une économie verte à faible émission de carbone. La phase initiale était axée sur la réparation et la modernisation des infrastructures existantes. Et elle a aussi permis de financer les étapes de conception et de planification de nouveaux projets de grande envergure. And that first phase has been successful. Through Infrastructure Canada's 2 funds, the $2 billion Clean Water and Wastewater Fund and the $3.4 billion Public Transit Infrastructure Fund, the Government of Canada has supported 1,760 projects across the country. And over 70% of these projects are currently underway. When we first took office, we made a commitment to Canadians and Canadian municipalities to be transparent and to make strategic, evidence-based investments in infrastructure. And we knew the best way to do this was in partnership with provinces, territories, municipalities, Indigenous peoples, and key stakeholders. So we met with them. We talked to them, and we're continuing to talk to all our partners and stakeholders. Because we know the best way to be successful is to make sure that the work that we're doing and the plans that we're putting forward are based on the needs and expectations of the people it's meant to serve. As the Prime Minister said in the House on Tuesday, we make sure to talk to people like the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, the Big City Mayors Caucus, and to engineering and construction industry members. Last week, I spoke to a group of mayors from the UMQ who put forward their views on our project, and they were very positive about it. With their valuable input and contributions, we were able to develop our long-term infrastructure plan, which we call Investing in Canada, through which we will invest over $180 billion over 12 years. Our plan focuses on 5 key areas: public transit, green infrastructure, social infrastructure, trade and transportation, and rural and northern communities. It also features 2 new initiatives: the Smart Cities Challenge, which I spoke to the Mayor of Toronto and guests yesterday in Toronto, and the Canada Infrastructure Bank. And when we were developing the Canada Infrastructure Bank, we also met with groups like the Canadian Council for Public-Private Partnerships, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, because we knew the importance of having the experts at the table from the very beginning. And that is also why I would like to commend the House of Commons and Senate committees that are looking into the bank very carefully. The bank is being reviewed by 4 distinct committees, and I would like to thank those members for their time and their hard work on the matter. The Canada Infrastructure Bank is a new tool for communities across Canada to take advantage of in order to build strong and stronger communities. Nous proposons la Banque d'infrastructure du Canada puisque nous pensons que le gouvernement fédéral a la possibilité de se faire une place dans les nombreux investissements du secteur privé, dans les infrastructures et de former des partenariats avec certains des plus grands investisseurs institutionnels au monde. Si le Parlement, évidemment, donne son approbation, c'est exactement ce que fera la Banque de l'infrastructure du Canada. Elle investira jusqu'à 35 milliards de dollars dans de nouvelles infrastructures orientées vers la croissance partout au Canada. 15 milliards de ces dollars proviendront du plan Investir dans le Canada. Ces 15 milliards de dollars représentent approximativement 8 % du total des fonds que l'on a pris l'engagement de consacrer aux infrastructures au titre de notre plan à long terme que j'ai mentionné plus tôt, de plus de 180 milliards de dollars. Nous mettrons 20 milliards de dollars de capital supplémentaire à la disposition de la Banque de l'infrastructure du Canada pour lui permettre de détenir des actifs sous la forme d'équité ou sous la forme de dette. La Banque servira de point de contact au gouvernement fédéral pour le secteur privé et elle embauchera des experts du secteur privé en vue de permettre au gouvernement de maximiser les investissements effectués au moyen de capitaux privés. Les fonds de la Banque s'ajoutent à l'engagement que nous avons pris de doubler le financement destiné aux infrastructures. Et surtout, ils représentent un nouveau moyen d'aider nos partenaires de financement à répondre à leurs besoins pressants en matière d'infrastructures, Madame la Présidente. On libérera des fonds publics pour construire davantage d'infrastructures publiques en ayant recours à des capitaux privés pour bâtir ces nouveaux projets. On s'attend à ce que la Banque permette d'attirer des capitaux du secteur privé qui n'auraient pas autrement été investis dans les infrastructures publiques, donc un effet multiplicateur de nos capacités en infrastructures transformatrices. Une fois la Banque créée à titre de société d'État autonome, elle constituera un nouvel outil auquel les partenaires provinciaux, territoriaux, municipaux et autochtones pourront avoir recours pour construire les infrastructures dont les Canadiens ont besoin. Elle sera également chargée de négocier des transactions complexes et de trouver des solutions de financement novatrices pour des projets d'infrastructures transformateurs partout au Canada. Il est donc essentiel pour nous de trouver et d'attirer des dirigeants talentueux et expérimentés pour veiller à ce que la Banque remplisse son mandat. Mon collègue, le ministre de l'Infrastructure et des Collectivités, a lancé la recherche de la haute direction pour le président, le conseil d'administration et le premier dirigeant de la Société d'État autonome, avec pour objectif d'être opérationnel d'ici la fin 2017. Ce processus est ouvert, basé sur le mérite et permettra de trouver les experts et les professionnels nécessaires pour diriger la banque. Le processus de sélection est conçu de manière à attirer un personnel diversifié et hautement qualifié. At this point, I'd like to address some of the allegations made in the House, in particular by the member for South Surrey White Rock. The suggestion has been made, and it wasn't simply made by her, that the bank would take away from current projects that have been announced or are underway, and that is patently false, Madam Speaker. The member can rest assured that the projects in her riding, totaling $72.5 million, half of which is federally funded, will go through. Another issue that has been raised was the ownership of the gas tax fund, and it bears reminding this House that the gas tax fund was created by the last Minister of Finance to truly balance the budget, and current Minister of Public Security. And it is indeed a Liberal initiative which creates sustained funding to municipalities through regular funding from the government, Madam Speaker. In my province, in Quebec, as I mentioned earlier at the introduction of my speech, I met with the UMQ. We don't share entirely the same opinion on how much money gets funded from the federal government. We're entering into a difficult, earnest, and open negotiation phase with Quebec, and municipalities will participate in the advocacy, but they are very eager to hear what our plans are. And partout où je me présente au Québec pour faire des annonces, les maires de ville, surtout les conseillers qui travaillent très fort, c'est des gens qui travaillent aussi fort que nous, sinon plus, sont ravis d'avoir de l'infrastructure, un besoin criant qui existe depuis des décennies, ce sous-financement qui existe en capitale. Et ce sous-financement, ça a des conséquences. Madame la Présidente, if approved by Parliament, the bank would be an important new tool for our provincial, territorial, municipal, and Indigenous communities to build more infrastructure while freeing up public funding for public projects. The Government of Canada has been open and transparent regarding all phases of the bank's development, and we will continue to work openly with our partners to make sure that our Investing in Canada infrastructure plan continues to meet the needs of communities across Canada. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Questions and comments, questions et commentaires. L'honorable député de Beauport-Limoilou.
Oui, merci, Madame la Présidente. J'aimerais demander à mon collègue, d'abord, je le remercie pour son discours, mais j'aimerais savoir, sur les 120 milliards de dollars promis et prévus par son gouvernement lors des élections ou après les élections, combien, jusqu'à date, est déjà sorti des coffres pour aller vers les infrastructures? Et je crois que c'est presque rien, à ma connaissance. Et en quoi la Banque des infrastructures va rapidifier, faire en sorte que plus rapidement les 120 milliards de dollars promis pour les infrastructures soient distribués aux divers projets. Merci, Madame la Présidente.
L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire.
Merci. Je remercie le député pour sa question. Il faut clarifier évidemment que le 180 milliards de dollars, c'est un projet de 12 ans. Et comme le député le sait bien, les modèles d'entente que nous avons avec les provinces diffèrent de province en province, évidemment en fonction des besoins. Pour les projets qui existent au Québec, parce que je suis sûr que c'est ça sur ça qu'il voulait poser sa question, nous payons les factures quand les factures sont soumises au gouvernement. Nous faisons notre vérification diligente et quand nous approuvons un projet, l'argent est dédié à ce projet. Alors le fait que ça sorte de la banque en tant que tel ou de nos coffres en tant que tel n'est pas aussi important que le fait que le projet est arrêté et que l'on est consacré à livrer la marchandise, Madame la Présidente. Merci.
Des commentaires.